Good morning, lovelies. Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming season in Pokemon Go. As always for the upcoming season news, there's a whole bunch of stuff to get into. Key features for the Max Out season are going to be Dynamax Battles. A whole bunch of Galarian Pokemon are spawning in the wild, going to be in eggs, things like that. A bunch of new shinies too. There's been a whole bunch of updates to the Go Battle League as well. And then just a bit of a season overview for what our bonuses are, all that sort of jazz. And just before we jump into today's video, if you haven't seen my video from the Pokemon World Championships over last weekend in Honolulu, Hawaii, please be sure to do so. The video has so much more in it than just like the Pokemon Go event side of things. There's a whole bunch of really cool stuff to see and do at the World Championships. Did my first ever side events, so many cool like photo opportunities, and just like showing you guys like what these events can be like. So maybe give you an idea for if you want to attend a regionals, a national, like internationals, or like Worlds next year. You get a bit of an idea of like what to expect, whether or not you can be in the venue or outside of the venue for free, that sort of stuff. So if you haven't seen it, please check it out. It was a really fun video to make as well. So first things first, the whole Dynamax thing has been being teased a little bit since kind of like the anniversary event in the middle of this year. On the hero image and artwork that we get every single year, there's usually some teasers for upcoming features, many of which, have come to the game, some of which have not yet come to the game. For example, Mega Mewtwo, that was featured a couple of years now ago, I think, and that still has not, popped up in the game yet, but Megas have been around. For this year's artwork, Dynamax, Gigantamax was sort of teased, and as we can tell from, the name and the titles for these events, it is coming to Go. I'm gonna read this little chunk of text for you guys here. So it's saying, sources say that starting in September, trainers around the world will begin to uncover power spots on the in-game map. These power spots are believed to eventually contain Dynamax Pokemon that can be challenged in battle. Be sure to get a head start by scouting out these power spots and collecting Max Particles before embarking on your first series of Max Battles. Prepare yourself for one of the biggest updates to Pokemon Go yet. Stay tuned for the latest research on Dynamax Pokemon, Max Battles, Power Spots, and Max Particles. Yay, a whole bunch of extra terminology to have to remember. First things first, we don't have a lot of visuals for any of this stuff yet. There's some unofficial things or like some data mined information, but I typically don't like to show that stuff just in case, I interpret what I'm seeing wrong. Because it's all data mined info with like coding language, I could be like, oh, how cool is this new thing that's coming next week? And then it doesn't happen, or just misinterpreting, misappropriating things. I like to be a source of truth where I can, and as to the best of my ability. So if you want to go seek out those images, feel free to do so. I'm not going to stop you. I've had a look at them. But as always, keep things with a grain of salt. There's been times when things have been data mined and never actually came out in the game. Or for example, when the Bow Lapras was data mined and we didn't see it in the game for over a year, I feel like. It was a long time. So keep in mind, if you do see things that are data mined, it doesn't mean that they're going to be released tomorrow, sort of thing. First things first, Dynamax Pokemon, what are they? I find it really interesting that Dynamax is coming to Pokemon Go, because in a way I feel like Dynamax raid battles were inspired by Pokemon Go into the main series games. That's how I kind of see it anyway. Raids have been around in Go since 2017, I think they were released. And then with the release of Pokemon Sword and Shield, there were these things you could do that were, Dynamax raid dens, Gigantamax raid dens, Dynamax adventures eventually. We would find this kind of glowing spot on the ground, the den, encounter with it, get some energy, get some little yummy points, and then you could challenge that raid with up to 4 friends. Well, sorry, yourself plus 3 friends. 4 people total. And the things you would verse in these dens were Dynamax or Gigantamax Pokemon. So potentially these dens are what we're going to be seeing as the power spots? Because it's saying here, power spots are believed to eventually contain Dynamax Pokemon. So I'm guessing in some way we're going to be seeing these sorts of dens as power spots in Go. Visually, I don't know if they'll be the same, like the little thing. We're going to find out in a couple of weeks, basically. Functionality wise, are these going to be like raids where you can have lobbies of 20? Are they going to be like Dynamax Adventures or Dynamax Raids in the main series where you only have 4 people total? I don't know. Again, we're going to find out in a couple of weeks. Or potentially sooner if they drop more information in the lead up to this feature. Max Particles, not sure. Maybe that's something that we need. It is saying that we're going to be able to, scout out the power spots and collect Max Particles before embarking on the battles. I should say it's here as well, like the Max Battles. It seems like Go is using the term Max Battles probably as an umbrella term to cover Dynamax and Gigantamax. From the official visuals that we have so far, it is looking like only Dynamax, not Gigantamax Pokemon at the moment, but I could totally see just using the word Max Battles to cover both if the functionality would be essentially the same in Go. Again, who knows, speculation. For the particles, I'm not sure if this is gonna be like Mega Energy where you need these particles to use on your own Pokemon, or if we're using the particles to gain access to the Max Raids battles. Oh my God, I've already started to fight the big boys, let's call them. So this could be, the particles could be your raid ticket, or they could be, you know, like mega energy, or they could be both. Again, we don't know yet. Quick little overview for you guys as well between Dynamax and Gigantamax. What does that mean? Does it mean the same thing? No, essentially. I was gonna say yes and no, but no. Both Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon, you know, get big, are big boys with their massive stats and you know, significantly stronger. Some have special moves, unique moves, exclusive moves, all that jazz. But essentially any Pokemon can Dynamax. You could take your little Togepi and be like, get big Togepi, and it's just, it's gonna get big. I'm gonna use a really good visual here for you, which is Meowth. Here is a Dynamax Meowth. It is just Meowth that got big. In the main series game, you know, its stats would change. It's clearly gonna be a lot stronger, but functionally, you know, visually, it's still a Meowth. Just big boy Dynamax mode. Here is Gigantamax Meowth, long Meowth. I love long Meowth. Gigantamax Meowth is a totally different design. I just rambled for way too long about Dynamax and Gigantamax, but long story short, Dynamax, the visual is just, it get big, stay the same design. There's, you know, changes to HP, certain moves get different, like stronger effects. That's that. Gigantamax, you know, gets big with a different design, totally visually different. They also get exclusive, you know, G-Max moves. Those special moves, signature moves, can have additional effects kind of like on top of that. Essentially, Gigantamax are different forms, whereas Dynamax is kind of like a different temporary, like, it's boost, I guess you'd say. And while, for example, every Meowth can Dynamax, in the main series game, not every Meowth can Gigantamax. It has to have that special Gigantamax factor, which is, it's like a literal symbol that it has on that Pokemon. If it doesn't have that symbol, it can't Gigantamax. But essentially there are a bunch of Pokemon, like there's like more than 20, I think, that are Gigantamax Pokemon. I think all of them are, maybe there's like one or two, but like essentially all of them have quite stunning designs. They're very beautiful. They have different abilities and moves and things like that in the main series games, but they are functionally different. So there's been no word yet on when and if we're gonna see Gigantamax Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Maybe we'll see that down the line once, you know, it's been tested and the features, you know, working smoothly and stuff like that. And again, based on the hero images that we have seen, it looks like, you know, we're gonna be seeing the starter Pokemon, Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, their pre-evolutions as well as the Dynamax raids, not the Gigantamax forms. Again, stunning. I do hope that we get them. I hope that we're not waiting for forever to see Gigantamax Pokemon in Go, because they are great. But for the moment, we'll keep the attention on the Dynamax. But for the last thing on Gigantamax, keep in mind, in the main series games, you could take your regular Meowth and make for it a max soup. That would essentially be like, hey, your Meowth is a compatible species, you can give it this special soup, you have to get these hard ingredients to find, and you can turn it into a Gigantamax Meowth. Give it that ability to Gigantamax, not just Dynamax. Will we see something like that in Go in the future? Again, don't know, but keep that in mind. For me, it's something where like, you know, I might want to hold on to a Hundo Lapras, a shiny Lapras, so that maybe I can have an existing one that I can Gigantamax, but there is also every possibility that it's like, no, actually, you're gonna have to just go catch yourself a fresh Gigantamax Lapras and there's gonna be no transforming ability there. We've seen that somewhat with things like Hisuian Braviary, where Hisuian Braviary should be able to evolve from a regular Braviary, just through different methods than regular Braviary. In the main series, it can do this, but in Go at the moment, we've only ever been able to get it through catching it as a standalone in raids or in special events, not through evolving like what it should technically be able to do. So keep that in mind. Hopefully we can do both, you know, in the future, but we'll see. Let's jump into some of the events that are gonna be happening as well. We're gonna be having the Go All Out event, kind of like launching the Gala region. I keep having to not say Gala region. My brain just reads it that way because it's an Aussie bird. So Tuesday, September 3rd, 10 a.m. to Tuesday, September 10th, 10 a.m. local time. We're gonna be having a whole bunch of Pokemon debuts. So Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble, plus their families, plus Dreepy as well. And its family too. As far as I can tell, the evolutions aren't gonna be, you know, popping in the wild or in raids or whatever else, but, you know, catch the little ones, get some candy, evolve them up. Plus, we're gonna have a new regional Pokemon as well. So trainers in the UK are gonna be keeping their peepers out for Stonejourner. Really cute Pokemon, definitely inspired by, you know, Stonehenge. I love this. 10 points to whoever takes their Stonejourner to Stonehenge and takes an AR photo. Tag me in it, I wanna see it. Hashtag ZTD News on Instagram, all that good stuff too. Additionally, we're gonna have the debut for Shiny Squavit and for Shiny Wooloo as well. Both beautiful shinies, and by the looks of it, plenty of methods to encounter these ones too. The Max Out event is gonna have some free special research with some branching storylines available for, you know, picking your partner Pokemon. Apparently, depending on which partner you pick as well, your postcard book background will change for the season to kind of like feature that buddy. I think we've only seen the postcard book change one time that I know of during Christmas, like holiday season last year. I don't know how many days that was different for. I only saw that by chance. If there's been other times, let me know about it. And you can pick up this special research anytime from, you know, the season starting till December 3rd. For this event, 5km eggs are looking like Grookey, Scorbunny, Sobble, and more. 7km eggs for this event are going to be all Galarians. Meowth, Ponyta, Slowpoke, Farfetch'd, Zigzagoon, Darumaka, Yamask, and Stunfisk. All of which can be shiny, which is nice. 10km eggs are gonna have Dreepy in them plus more. And then for these event bonuses, 2x XP for catching Pokemon and 2x XP for evolving Pokemon. Field research will have all 3 of the new starters plus Squavit and Wooloo. Keep an eye out for collection challenges and also the Pokestop showcases. After that will be the Go Big event. And this is kind of like where the whole Dynamax thing is gonna kick off. So Tuesday, September 10th, 10 AM to Sunday, September 15th, 8 PM. Dynamax debuts are gonna be rolling in. So the following Pokemon are gonna make their debut for Pokemon GO Dynamax in 1-star max battles. So we're now implying that there's going to be a bit of a tier system here. So not sure if we're going to have other ones announced for this event, but by the looks of it, we're starting with 1-star max battles to get a bit of a flavor. Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Squavit, and Wooloo. It says here as well, Pokemon caught from max battle encounters as well as their evolutions can be Dynamaxed during max battles. I have asked for a bit of clarification on this because I was unsure. I'm like, does this mean that, say if you catch a Bulbasaur in a Dynamax in a max battle, is it just that specific Bulbasaur that I can Dynamax in future battles, max battles, or can I max, oh my god, so many words, can I big boy any Bulbasaur or only that one Bulbasaur that I got from the den? Does it need to be from the den to be Dynamaxable? I've asked that question. I haven't heard back yet. If I hear back while I'm editing this, I'll put it in big text right now, look at the screen, and I'll let you know if I've heard back, but who knows? So yeah, I've asked for clarification if that is like species-based or individual Pokemon-based, because again, it'd be cool if you had a nice Pokemon that you'd caught previously. Maybe it's your first ever Pokemon you ever caught. You got that first Bulbasaur or first Charmander, and you'd love to Dynamax that one. I don't know yet. Again, hopefully it's on screen for you guys if I've heard back. I've also asked for clarification on if there's times outside of Dynamax battles, max battles, that you can Dynamax your Pokemon. Are we gonna be able to Dynamax in PvP? Are we gonna be able to Dynamax in raids? Don't know yet. Again, if I hear back, I'll put it on screen here. But for the moment, at least it's been said that they're gonna be able to be Dynamaxed during max battles. Whether or not it could be outside of that, I don't know yet. Again, there's gonna be some more special research, looking like a potentially new avatar item here as well, the Dynamax band. For the event bonuses, we're gonna be having 2x XP for winning max battles and 2x XP for spinning Pokestops. Field research encounters are gonna have Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Squavit, and Wooloo. Again, keeping in mind Squavit and Wooloo can be shiny. So they're gonna be in research tasks for a hot second here, which is nice. Then let's jump into the overall season. So this is gonna be the things that happen overall through the entire 3-month season when these things aren't being impacted by overlapping events. So seasonal bonuses. Our research breakthrough, so your 7-day research breakthrough, is gonna be having either Galarian Weezing, Galarian Mr. Mime, Excadrill, Scraggy, Furfrou, and Jangmo-O, all of which except for Excadrill can just be shiny on encounter, which is nice. 2km eggs are gonna be having Cleffa, Igglybuff, Tyrogue, Wynot, Larvesta, and more. 5km eggs are gonna have Larvesta, Kamala, Grookey, Sobble, Scorbunny, and more. 7km eggs, Galarian Meowth, Galarian Slowpoke, Galarian Farfetch'd, Galarian Zigzagoon, Galarian Yamask, and more. 10km eggs are gonna have Druddigon, Larvesta, Dreepy, Sharkadet, Frigibax, and more. For Adventure Sync rewards, these are the eggs that you can receive at the start of a fresh week after you've achieved, you know, X amount of kilometers explored. So Adventure Sync 5km eggs, Chingling, Riolu, Tyrant, Amara, Phantump, and more. 10km Adventure Sync eggs are gonna have Dratini, Rockruff, Drampa, Jangmo-O, Frigibax, and more. And lastly for eggs, the 7km eggs that you get from Mateo from doing a route at the end when you do a gift exchange with Mateo. You can get one of these guys. Also, let me know, did the Mateo eggs go into our overflow stack? You know where like Adventure Sync eggs and like 12km eggs go? Has anyone checked if, I don't think I've ever had a space to check it. Does the Mateo egg go into the overflow 3 stack at the bottom? Because whenever I do a route, I'm spinning stops, so I never have an egg space to get one. I've maybe got one once or twice from Mateo. But Mateo's eggs can have Hisuian Growlithe, Hisuian Sneasel, Basculin with the white stripe, which this will be the first time we've seen white stripe Basculin outside of the LA tour, I'm pretty sure. Slash, you know, the global tour from this year had the white stripe Basculin, and it can be shiny as well, but it was only appearing on routes. So it's been like, I guess, the first time that I'm aware of seeing it outside of that. Also, Dino and Pancham can be in those eggs. So again, all shiny potentials there. And then for the overall seasonal bonuses, there's going to be increased XP for the 7-day Pokestop spin streak, increased XP and Stardust for the 7-day Pokemon catch streak, and increased XP for going up a friendship level. If you are still focusing on XP for leveling up, if you're going to be hitting best friends and ultra friends, try and line a few up this season, drop a lucky egg as well, because that is going to be a nice little bit of extra XP for you there. Also, if you are adding strangers online, please, for the love of all that is good in the world, wait until you have both received the XP before removing that person from your friends list. This is like still, even though there's like the pop-up window now, like, hey, do you want to use a lucky egg? If someone has deleted you from the friends list before you've seen that pop-up, you still don't get the XP. So please, if you're adding people, adding strangers, whoever else, to try and both get a nice chunk of XP, please make sure that they've actually, you know, got that XP before you delete them. Just, you can chat on Campfire now, send them a message on wherever. Even just be polite and wait a couple of days just in case. Keep that in mind if you are doing that. You're also gonna be getting 1 additional candy when trading Pokemon, and trainers level 31 and above will get a guaranteed Candy XL when trading too, which is chef's kiss, love it. Great time to clear out some bulk trades. And lastly, there is a whole bunch of updates and news for Go Battle League, for GBL PVP. Before you click off this video and go, I'm not interested in PV, I don't do that stuff. One massive thing for this season's updates, they announced a huge changes during Worlds. It's like the Friday night of Worlds, and everyone's just like, everyone was a buzz. You know, I'm standing amongst some of the top players in the world, plus literally the top players in the world, like the top, provably, like some of the top 200 players in the world. And it was so cool to just see like everyone be like, oh my God, okay, I don't have this Pokemon. This thing's gonna be like in the top 20 next season. This is gonna be different, this is gonna be different. What can we trade? Do you have any of these things to trade? Like, these are the top players that at the moment don't have their stuff built for next season. Why is that a great thing? That's a great thing because it's gonna be a big change for everyone. If you've ever thought like, you know, it's too hard to get into PvP. I don't have all these things. You know, this Metacham never spawns or whatever else, and I don't have a built-up one. Now's gonna be a great time. This season's gonna be a great time to just try it out, because it's gonna be a massive change for everyone. Yes, the top players are still gonna have that base core knowledge of how to play. That's fine. But it's gonna be just like a massive change up. And I think like a really good time to jump in and learn with people, because, you know, the pros are gonna be learning these new strats, these new counts as well. So why not learn alongside those people? Go to your local events, go check out if you have any local events. A good way to do that as well is meeting people through your community day events, through your raid day events. If there's gonna be Dynamax events, going to those too and just chatting to people. Hey, do you do PvP? Do you do GBL? Like, what should I do? What should I have as a Pokemon? These people might have plenty of things that they've caught up and now, you know, have put Stardust into and leveled up, that they now have the better one, you know. Everyone always talks about PvP IVs and whatever else. Maybe they've got 5 of the same thing. They don't need those other 2. They could maybe trade you one. Hey, this is a pretty good Pokemon to use. Here, it might not be the best IVs once I trade it to you, but it's at the right level. It's got 2 moves, it's got a move, it's got the moves that you need. You know, here's how to use it. Let's do some battles and practice together. Give it a shot. You know, the worst thing that happens is you don't really enjoy PvP, and that's okay too. But it's gonna be a big fresh start for a lot of people. I've been saying for a while I want to get back into doing more PvP videos. I did really early in the day. I'm pretty sure the first ever like PvP video for Pokemon Go is my live stream when the feature dropped. Like I've been doing PvP since forever. I know I'm not the elite level, but I still enjoy it. And I think this shake-up is gonna be really fun as well. Plus, Dedenne got triple buffed. My little electric rat is gonna be, hopefully, I don't know, it's gonna be getting slapped by the Mud Boys probably, and the Poison Boys. But I'm happy. I'm curious to see how, you know, how it plays differently and stuff like that too. So I'll leave the link down in the description as well for the full season update and stuff for GBL. Here's a little sneak peek of the first couple of different flavor cups that happen every month. One of the first cups is a little cup, a Gala cup, and it's gonna be Galarian Pokemon, and it's gonna be Pokemon under 500 CP. You could just catch whatever spawns in your house and use that. Have a bit of fun with it. Like, little cups are always just a bit of a goof. Yes, there's people, myself included, that really like Little Cup and try to make the most toxic little cup teams. That's not everyone. It's okay, you're safe. But have a bit of fun with it, it's okay. Additionally, a tip that I like to give people as well, if you are just getting started in Go Battle League, the first few days when a new season starts, it is just like the Wild West. There's gonna be the most extreme high-level players getting in every single battle of the day that they can do. There's gonna be people that have no idea what they're doing. There's gonna be people that's just like, oh, it's a Wednesday and I'm just gonna do my battles. There's a 7-year-old as well that's using whatever random stuff they've decided to bring, and that's okay. It's gonna be hectic. If you want to kind of avoid the people that are hardcore and it's gonna destroy your teams, not that it's a bad thing. If you get destroyed like 5 times, you'll at least be in like a lower elo and it's gonna be a bit easier to battle your way up. But I typically say wait 3 to 5 days for all of the hardcore players to be starting to level up beyond you. You know, they're gonna be beyond level 1, 2, 3, like they're kind of up in the 10s, 15s, whatever else. Migrating out of the starting off, you know, battle pit. Then that way when you start up, it's still gonna be a bit of the Wild West with, you know, random Pokemon, whatever else, but at least you're gonna have a bit of a better chance to get some wins in. I'll be chatting to some of the PvP peeps as well to try and put together a couple of, you know, beginners teams, some really accessible teams too. You know, Clodsire is gonna be one of the best Pokemon potentially next season. It's had a comm day, it's had a community day, so you should at least have the candies to power one up, to have one that's maybe got, you know, okay enough IVs, just to get started and to get a feel for it. But I just highly recommend pick 3 Pokemon that you like that feel good to use, just jump in there and give it a go. And if you have any questions for GBL stuff, for beginners guides, or you want to see me do more of that content, please leave that comment as well, because I won't know unless you guys ask for it, basically. With all that massive info being said, let me know, are you guys excited for this new season? I'm really curious to see how the Max Battles function, first of all. I'm curious to see, like, is it gonna be just raids that turn pink? Are there gonna be new locations? Like, are there gonna be like POIs that we haven't had used in the game? You know, how is it gonna function? Where are we gonna go to play these raids and stuff? Sorry, oh my god, I'm saying raids. Max Battles. How is Dynamax and Gigantamax gonna figure into the long term of the game? Can I do AR photos of my Dynamax Pokemon? I don't know. I'm gonna ask that question. Are we gonna get something like Dynamax Adventures, like where it's a gauntlet and you go through like the 4 or 5 battles in a row to get to like the big, oh my god, could you imagine? Okay, I said tier 1 max battles. It's like Bulbasaur, Charmander, whatever. Could you imagine if like the tier 5, the tier whatever, 3, 2, whatever, like max battles, if they are like Dynamax Adventures where you have to go through a gauntlet of like 4 raid bosses, 4 Dynamax bosses to get to the legendary at the end. That'd be kind of sick. It would take a lot longer than like a raid battle, that's for sure. But it'd be kind of cool. New little way to spice up the, would they do that though? I don't know. Anyway, I'm curious. I'm curious to see how it all plays out. Hopefully something funky, fresh for, you know, Southern Hemisphere going into summer. You guys are gonna be going into winter in the Northern Hemisphere, but we've still got a couple of months before the extremes kick in for the weather. So hopefully everyone can enjoy this feature before the year closes out. Let me know you're excited for the Gala Pokemon as well. Is Dreepy your favorite little guy? Comments, let me know thoughts and feelings down below. As always, lovelies, thank you so much for watching. If you are new, please be sure to subscribe. Thank you to everyone who did leave a like as well. And if you'd like additional ways to support the channel, links for Patreon and the merch are in the description down below. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful morning, noon, night, whatever time it is for you, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.